Hi everybody. Okay, we are back to share our experience with the CALECIM 6-week treatment. It's a stem cell microneedling system that you do 2 times a week for 6 weeks. I don't know if you got a chance to watch our first video of when we were opening the kit and just learning the system. If you haven't, go back and watch that before you watch this. One question we get all the time, it was actually the very first question I asked when I was looking into this company, where do they get the stem cell from? Because that's actually a really important question. If you go to CALECIM's Instagram page, they're very open about exactly how they get that stem cell, and it's so interesting, and they make sure you know the importance of the quality of the stem cell, how they're getting it, and where they're getting it from. To just make it really simple, it is from a red deer. It's a farm in New Zealand, and I know there's more involved in this, but just to say it like really simple, when the baby deer is born, the umbilical cord is collected and it is sent to a lab, and the lab will extract the stem cells and the proteins from the stem cells. So you know me, if you followed my page for a while, you know that I will only promote cruelty-free products, and there is no cruelty anywhere in the process of this stem cell. So that's why I even looked into it any further. And it's funny because I actually posted a question box on my Instagram page and my stories. I asked everybody, like, ask me any questions that you have about CALECIM. And only one person out of probably 100 asked me where the stem cell comes from.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is that we need people to be more, I don't even know what the word is, like really research where the products that you're using are coming from and how they're made. When I asked Luann, I was like, Luann, will you do this treatment with me? I was like, go look at the page. And I knew, like, I knew the first thing that she would do. I don't even think that she cared about what the reviews were or what was gonna happen, but like I knew that she would look at the ingredients, because it's so important that you know what is in the product that you're using and why it's in there and the reason why it will work. So that way
Right, and I think that was what was most interesting to me, is that is very important. The ingredients were priority, and then 2, was it cruelty free? Was, no harm to any animal in the process, and obviously it's not using any human stem cells, so that was very important to me.
Yep.
And then finally, how it's working. That is something that I think people should be considering, because it's like makeup. You can just cover something up, or you can try to address it from where the deficit is coming from, or
the root of the issue.
The root of the issue, right? Exactly.
Which is actually, isn't that your?
Yeah. That's my thing.
That's your thing. Wait, what is your?
Yeah, get to the root.
Get to the root. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why we think that this is so interesting. So everybody has a certain amount of follicles on their head. Like you're not gonna multiply follicles. But the thing is though, just in life, some of our follicles are just dormant. Some of them never grow a hair. Some of them are dormant because of medication or age or hormone or disease. I mean, there are so many things that go into the follicle creating that hair, and the quality of the hair that it creates.
We know so much about just stem cells in general, like their role, what we think we're finding in aging and all of those types of things. So it's almost like that, right? But for the follicle.
And so when you revive the follicle and you almost like wake it up, then it's going to start producing a hair. First of all, it takes time for the body to go into the cycle of getting that hair to grow. So actually, she's going to take over for now because she can explain that a little bit better. Well, it is in a cellular
way.
way. So yeah.
I'll do my best. But I think, one thing that I noticed in particular with this and thinking about how this is working in the body is looking at, first what has caused this issue to occur. In both of us, we've had, different backgrounds, different health issues, different types of things that perhaps, just different stages in aging and,
Yep.
menopause and all of those types of things that can affect that follicle. But with this particular product, you're looking at how it addressed that from kind of that root cause rather than just patching it up, making it so that this will continue to work on a long-term basis. So it's great if something, short-term maybe gives you that benefit. In this case, I feel like it's a little bit of a time investment, but then you have a much longer return and a more permanent type of solution.
Because,
right?
because we've actually tried different things. Right. And what happens is we will have new hair growth, like especially like right here, which is where most of us have a lot of thinning. And it'll grow so long, but then it just falls out.
Exactly what happens.
Yes. So we'll be like, yay! And then 8 months later, we're like, where'd that nice fresh hair go?
Right, and then you're losing hair again. Like that whole cycle happens.
Exactly.
So.
Yep. So, so one of the things that we have seen in this last 6 to 8 weeks of this treatment, we have both seen a huge reduction in hair loss. I mean, it's actually pretty crazy. And at the end of this video, when I get home, I'm going to show you, because what I would do is I would just collect the hair in the shower, that's normally where I see most of my hair loss. I mean, randomly I'll see, have hairs like on me, but I see the most hair loss, which is so terrifying typically in the shower.
I know, yeah.
And it's, I'm telling you, every week that I did it, it was significantly less, to the point where the last week that I collected the hair on, I think it was, today is Tuesday, so that would have been Saturday. I mean, probably a quarter of what I lost in the beginning. And even Luann,
No, I definitely noticed the same in the shower. And I mean, I'd be even sitting at like a stoplight and like, if you just kind of feel like this, and then there would just keep being more and more. And then I would just quit doing it because
like, I'm just staying
there was always going to be more hair coming out. So that I've noticed really isn't happening at all. And definitely a reduction, what I would consider more normal loss in the shower.
Yep. Okay, so I know what you guys want to know also is, have we seen hair growth? I definitely feel like I see hair growth right here. I actually feel like I started, because it's about maybe an inch, like 3/4 of an inch, like right here. I definitely feel like I have seen it, but I always want people to know that hair growth is super slow. Even if you have the healthiest hair, I mean, hair growth is very slow. And there's time in reviving, like getting the body to understand how to revive that follicle, and then for the follicle to start to grow a hair. That's a long process. So just expect that. And I mean, whatever happens, you might have some really crazy supernatural hair growth, but I would say most people, it's going to grow slow. And like Luann understands that, and she can kind of.
Yeah, and I think for me, Dana's seeing that growth that maybe I've, and some.
Yeah, I would say she has about maybe 1/8 of an inch, like just little tinies. Yeah.
So my body's like a little sluggish about the whole process, but I think it's responding well. So I think you also have to consider things like disease and medications and all of those things in the whole picture when you're deciding if this is working for you. Well, I think I'm encouraged, and I'm going to try another cycle of it, which some people, and as we indicated in that first video, may need. But I think in my situation, I had a lot of things going against me even during this whole process. I started receiving an IV medication to help alter my immune system against multiple autoimmune diseases. And so one of the huge side effects was supposed to be hair loss with that. So that really had me a little bit frightened in the process of doing this, but I have not seen that at all. So I think on top of that, like, that's just really encouraging to think that, again, and this is trying to address it in that same root cause level, the same way that that medication I'm getting is trying to address my immune system in that way. I feel like this is trying to address the hair loss in that way. So it's like working together.
Yes, this is why I love that she did this with me, because I don't even know how to say that, and she says it so perfectly, and it makes so much sense. She explains things like this to me, and it makes even the other day I was like, what's this? And you're like, broke it all down for me, and I'm like, I understand now. I understand now. So, but that was our experience with the first 6 weeks of CALECIM, and we just are really excited because it's just something with, I think there are no known side effects. And
absolutely no. I'll say that too, and I like expect to have a side effect from like everything I do.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I had nothing from this at all. Nothing.
Yes, and it's just amazing. So we're really excited about this because we believe it's going to help a lot of people. And you know, having been a hairdresser for so many years, I mean, I'm 44 and Luann just turned 50. And like, it's you see hair loss everywhere you go, and you just have a compassion if you have been through it, and just knowing that there is something that could help without side effects, that is safe, that you could do at home. It's exciting. So, all right, thank you, CALECIM. Thank you for letting us share this.
Yes.
And we will keep you guys posted. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're happy to answer them. And if I don't know a question, I will ask the really kind people at CALECIM, and they will get back to me, and I will let you know the answer. All right, have a great day. God bless. Okay, I just want to show you guys my very non-scientific way of tracking hair loss. But I have to say that this is where most people notice their hair is either thinning or they're losing more hair than normal. And it's in the shower. What is going on? So what I do is, after I wash my hair, and you guys know that I pick through my hair in the shower, after my shower I just collect the hair and I put it in a little Dixie cup. So the day that I went and did the first video with Luann, I washed my hair beforehand just so I could have a baseline, and this is how much hair I lost that day. This is a lot of hair, and this is why I even started thinking about doing some sort of hair loss or hair thinning treatment, because I'm like, why am I losing so much hair? That is not normal. I feel like it had been normal, like it was progressively getting worse for the last 6 months. So I'm like, okay, I need to stop this now and figure this out. So 2 weeks into the treatment, I gathered the hair again, and I looked and I was like, okay, if I feel like it looks like there's less hair. So this is 2 weeks in. Remember, this is first day. So like, big difference already, but I really couldn't tell because I'm like, okay, maybe that's like a fluke, because you know how we just always second guess. So then 3 weeks in, I did it again, and this is how much hair. So I feel like it's still about the same as it was like 2 weeks in, still a lot less than, mash it up, a lot less than day one. And then 4 weeks in, definitely less. I mean, like, you can totally see through it. This is day one, and this is 4 weeks in. And then on Saturday, this is day one, this is Saturday. So for sure, huge reduction in hair loss. This is probably a quarter of the hair that is in here. I think I'm gonna do another treatment next summer to just, keep those follicles revived. And I know you can do maintenance where you just do it a couple times a month, or you can do 3 kits back to back. There are just so many options. Okay, I had to stop filming this afternoon because my dogs were going crazy. They were fighting with each other, they were playing tug of war. So then I let them outside. I'm like, okay, I'll let them outside so I can finish this video. And I let them out and I hear some barking and they are running up and down in the black mulch. So Evie comes in with completely black paws and I just have to, like, okay, I will finish this video later. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. I encourage you to head over to CALECIM's Instagram page. They have really good information on there, and Instagram is designed so that it's good information, quick and easy to find. And then I would recommend going to their website and reading about it also. You can read all about the parent company, and that's like my favorite part, to read and research and study. Lots of good information. It's so refreshing to find a company and a product that is science-based and not a gimmick. I've been doing hair for 23 years and I can't even tell you the amount of products that I've seen that claim all these things, which is fine, but this is legit. And the cool thing about CALECIM is it can be used in conjunction with other favorite hair loss remedies like your shampoos, supplements and everything, because CALECIM is its own thing. But anyway, have a great day. God bless you and your family.